Alright, here we go with lesson number 2. Pardon me. I'll do my best not to cough through this. So, our objective on this one, or what we're trying to learn, our learning target, is using the distributive and commutative properties to relate multiplication facts. And this one gives an example of this, but we're going to kind of skip this. And I'm going to explain it to you down here. So remember, commutative property is when you have, let's go ahead and go with this, 6 times 4 is the same as 4 times 6. Okay, that's the commutative property. It means it's commuting, the numbers are switching places, they're moving, but we get the same product. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to break 6 times 4 into two different things. And this is the distributive. Distribute means to pass out. You may want to write this in your notebook. Distribute pass out. So when we distribute, we pass something out. When we have the iPad committee pass out the iPads, we're having them distribute the iPads. When we distribute pencils, we're passing out pencils. So distribute means to pass out. What we're going to do pass out here is this number 6. We're going to pass it out and break it into a 5 and a 1. And we go 5 times 4 and 1 times 4. So this stays the same as this and this. And the 6 here gets broken into 5 and a 1. This is 20. This is 4. 20 plus 4 is 24. Which is the same as 6 times 4 being 24. So we're going to be doing some problems looking at both of these properties, the distributive property and the commutative property. So if you have your problem set ready to go, remember we're on lesson 2 problem set. Each cube has a value of 7. So to help me remember that, I'm going to write 7 inside each one of these cubes. 7, 7, 7. So how many? I have 5 7s. 5 times 5 groups of 7 is 5 times 7. Commutative property is 7 times 5. And then you can just count these to get a total. Either you know the fact, 5 times 7, or you can skip count by 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35 is our total. Now this is going to include the distributive property. And you can tell because of the different colored cube here. You have a gray cube, or a light gray cube, or a white cube, and gray cubes. That is going to tell us that we're doing distributive property. Remember, they're all still times 7 again, so we're going to go back and write those. Each cube is worth 7. Here on this one we have 6 7s. That is the same as, no, this is where it gets tricky. So you have 6 7s, and they're saying 6 7s equals how many 7s plus how many 7. So you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gray ones. So I'm going to write 5 7s. And then we have 1 white one. We're going to call that 1 7. So that equals 35 plus 7, right? Because we have this new one. And 35 plus 7 is 42. Now, we're going to look at this right here to do our commutative property. 6 times 7, because we have 6 sevens, or is the same as 7 times 6. And we know that that is 42 and 42. So now on this one we have this number 2a. We have these dots and they're each worth 8, so we're going to write an 8. So remember, unit form is 5 what? What do we have 5 of? 5 eighths. 5 eighths is 5 times 8, or 8 times 5. Now we can count by 5s 8 times, or 8 5 times. Or you know your multiplication facts, you know 8 times 5 is 40, but let's just check. We're going to go 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. That is correct, 40. So now it's asking us to use the facts above to find 8 times 6. So we're going to draw some dots. Up here we have 5 dots. 3, 4. Oops. You know what, guys? I'm going to take away the dots. I'm just going to write the number in, because that's how I do it. So there are 5 eighths. 5 black eighths and 1 red eighth. Okay? Because we're looking at 8 times 6. So now we have 8. Oops, let's go back to the black ones. How many black eighths do we have? How many black eighths do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 8 times 5 plus, how many red eighths do we have? 1. Now we're going to add these together, and that's going to give us 8 times 6. So now we know we had 40 here, so if we just add this 1 8, we know 8 times 6 equals 48. 48 on that one. Let's move on down to number 3. This one is a little tricky. You may have to come back and watch it again and again. Remember, we got these 8s right here. These 5 eighths from here. And we added one more because it wanted 8 times 6, not 8 times 5. Okay, let's move on to number 3 down here. Okay. Oh, yay, word problems. So, here we go. Let's read this problem. An author uses 9 pages of her book each week. How many pages does she write in 7 weeks? Use 5's fact to solve. Which means, if we look at the numbers here, if we circle them, we have a 9 and a 7. We know we're doing multiplication, so that would be 9 times 7. But it's asking us to use a 5 fact because it's easy to count by 5s. So we're going to break this off into 9 times 5 and 9 times 2, which would look something like this. 5 black 9s. And I'm actually going to erase that. So remember, we broke up this 7 into 5 and 2. So I'm going to add 2 more 9s. So So 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, and 18. And I can just do, so 45 comes from here, 18 comes from here. I can do the simple math. 5 plus 8 is 13. I put the 3, I carry the 1 over to the tens. That's 1 plus 4 is 5, 6, 63. 63 is my answer. So that's what the distributed property looks like. The goal of it is to be able to break up bigger math multiplication problems into smaller pieces that you can work with. Okay? Alright, let's go to the last problem. Let's go ahead and read this problem. Mrs. Gonzalez buys a total of 32 crayons for her classroom. Each pack contains 8 crayons. How many packs of crayons does Mrs. Gonzalez buy? So she needs a total of 32. Each pack contains 8. How many of those does she need to buy? A couple different ways we can do this. We can use number bonds. I think I'm going to use number bonds for this one. 32 total. And there's 8 in each pack. How many packs does she need? So we got to get to 32. We're going to go 8. And if I add 8 more, that's 16. 8 more is 24. And 8 more is 32. So 8 times 1, 2, 3, 4 is 32. So she buys 4 packs. You could have done tape diagram. You could have looked at this and actually done division. I said 32 divided by 8 equals 4. That's a fact family because you know 32 divided by 8 equals 4. 4 times 8 equals 32. There's a number of different ways you could have done this. And now for really the last problem. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and read the problem. Hannah has $500. She buys a camera for $435 and 4 other items for $9 each. Now Hannah wants to buy speakers for $50. Does she have enough money to buy the speakers? And explain your thinking. So she has a total of, let's go ahead and make that, our total is $500. She has $500 total. She spends $435. Okay, so we have that. We have that. She buys 4 items times $9. So that's 4 groups of 9. So that would be 4 times 9. This just works easier for me. Here's my 4 groups. And I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, 16, 17, 18, 27, 28, 29, 30, 34, 35, 36. 36 is what I got. There's 9 in each group. There's 4 groups, so that equals 36. So we're going to add that 36 on over here to the 435. So we've dealt with these numbers, all these numbers, except the 50. But it doesn't say she bought them yet. It says she wants to buy the speakers for $50. Does she have enough? First, we got to find out how much she spent, and that is right here. We're going to add this together. 5 plus 6 is 11. Carry the 1 to the next column. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 7. And we don't have anything to carry because it's just a 7, so it's 471. Ooh. So now let's add that 50 in to see if she goes over 500. If she goes over 500, she doesn't have enough. So we're going to add that 50 in. 1. 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry the 1, don't forget, and 521. So she needs 521 to get all those things. But she only has 500, so does she have enough money? I'm going to say no. She doesn't have enough. These are multi-steps. These take a lot of steps. These take a lot of thinking. It took addition. It took multiplication. I drew a tape diagram. I have a total. I had to add again. And then I have my words explaining why or why not. So these problems should take you a while to figure out. Good luck going on to your homework and your exit ticket, and we'll see you in lesson 3.